What's up, y'all? It's Anastasia. Welcome back to my channel. Now, in today's video, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be reacting to the impressive channel's video about Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade, quote unquote, exploiting their trans daughter Zaya Wade for financial gain and whatnot. I'm basically just going to play the video and I'm just going to pause in between to give my honest opinion on whether I think Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union are exploiting their trans daughter Zaya Wade for financial gain and stuff. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Union are accused of exploiting their transgender daughter, Zaya, and Zaya's biological mother, Savon, is not here for it at all. Also, the Good Morning America 3 co-host TJ Holmes is getting disciplined for having multiple affairs with his married co-workers, and he's getting replaced, all because he couldn't keep his dang-a-lang in his pants. To find out more about this story, stay tuned and watch this video.
Oh, and I just want to say, with the TJ Holmes situation, I'm just going to briefly talk about that too, so yeah. I just love her intro.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Impressive channel. I want to talk about some new updates involving the scandal between the Good Morning America co-host. Moving on, I want to get into this mess between Gabrielle Union and the rapper Boosie. This is probably the most unexpected beef that I've seen in a minute, but here we are. Now, Lil Boosie has given his unsolicited opinion about Dwayne Wade's transgender daughter, Zaya Wade. Now, Boosie was very disturbed at the idea that Zaya was transitioning from a boy to a girl at the age of 12 years old, and he had a lot of opinions about it. Now, the public would not have known about this if Dwayne Wade did not go on...
And I just want to stop it right there to say this. Like, at the time, Zaya, by the way, if you're not familiar with who Zaya Wade is, insert picture here. As you can see, she is a very beautiful trans girl. Shout out to you, sis. You're watching this. Very, very beautiful girl. Keep doing your thing, sis. Keep pushing. I hope to collaborate with you in the near future. But yes, like, anyways, it's just like this. It's just basically like what my dad had taught both me and my sister growing up. The whole world doesn't need to know your business. Like with Dwayne Wade and stuff like that. You have a transgender daughter, okay, like the whole world doesn't need to know that. Like keep that to yourself and stuff like that. Like the whole world doesn't need to know that and stuff like that. Like just let that child live their life. But at the same time, it's like this too. At the time, Zaya was 12. Like at 12 years old, like mentally, like you're not fully there yet and whatnot. Like, you're pretty much just out of that child at a early age. So like I said, mentally, that child's not there yet and stuff like that. They're still slowly but surely trying to find out who they are as a person and stuff like that. And you pretty much put their business out there like that. Like, who's to say as that child gets older up in age, something changes, and you already pretty much put their business out there to the world. Like, in the future when something changes, it's going to ruin them. So at 12 years old and stuff like that, if she had came out of trans to me and stuff like that, I would have just kept it to myself. And pretty much, I probably would have shared it once, you know, they gave me permission to, you know. I'm just not just going to, you know, put my child's business out there like that. And also, when you put your business out there, you're giving permission for outsiders to judge. So had you would have kept it to yourself, people like Lil Boosie and other bloggers and influencers and mainstream celebrities would have talked about it had you would have just kept it to yourself. And like I said, once you put your business out there, you're giving access to outsiders and whatnot to judge. Like, and I remember I had watched the video when Lil Boosie was talking about Zaya Wade. Like, he didn't say, in my honest opinion now, this is my video, I'm going to speak how I feel regardless if you like it or not. This is just my honest opinion. Honestly, I really feel like Lil Boosie really didn't say anything wrong. I mean, he was kind of extra when he was like, Dwayne Wade, don't cut the boy dick off. Like, come on now, my nigga. Like, you're going too far right there. But in the beginning of the video, he really didn't say nothing wrong. He basically was like, the child's 12. Like, he's not fully there yet. And I totally agree with that. Like, with Zaya, like she's not mentally there yet, you know, to make full on decisions like that on her own and whatnot. And for you to put her business out there, like it's just it's gonna eventually ruin her in the near future. So I kind of understand where he was coming from right there. But when he had said some stuff like, "Oh, don't cut the boy dick off," like, come on now, didn't nobody say nothing about cutting the child's thing off. Like, no one said anything about that. He was just pretty much just saying that he had a trans daughter, you know. So yeah. So all in all, like, don't put your business out there. You don't want people to judge, pretty much.
Did not go on several different interviews talking about his child's gender. So Dwayne was really the one who opened up the door for his child to be critiqued and scrutinized by the likes of people like Boosie. So he actually takes some blame here.
Oh, y'all, look at this. Zaya looks just like her daddy. She looks just like her daddy. Like, ain't no denying that. I'm just saying. Ain't no denying that that's your daughter. Like, come on now, dude. Like, she looks just like you.
And later on in this video, I am going to talk about this in more detail because I kind of do feel like Dwayne is exploiting his child to some extent. But back to the topic at hand. Boosie was out of line for speaking on Zaya because Zaya is a child. Yes, he's allowed to have his own opinion, but at the end of the day, people have to be mindful when they're talking about other people's children.
Exactly.
So I didn't necessarily agree with him going on and on about Zaya. I thought it was a little off-putting to me. Now, Dwayne Wade's wife, Gabrielle Union, brought up Boosie during her interview with Jemele Hill, and this is what she said in response to what Boosie said about Zaya. Sorry, Boosie.
He's so preoccupied.
Yeah, he is. Very
much almost so. Like thou dost protest too much, little Booze. I'm gonna look. You got a lot of dick on your mind.
That's funny.
I mean,
throw that out there.
It's like Zaya and Lil Nas X live in his head.
Hell yeah.
Like what?
It's like, sir, something you want to just go ahead and tell us. This is a safe space.
So that's what Gabrielle had to say. I mean, Boosie was speaking on her family. He was speaking on her husband's child. So she felt the need to call him out. Now, do I think it was necessary for her to imply that Boosie was gay and use that as an insult towards him? Not necessarily. It is odd for somebody like Gabrielle, who is an LGBTQ plus advocate, to use somebody's sexuality as a way to take a dig at them. That's very odd. So I will say her response was a little off-putting in that sense, but she was just returning the energy. Boosie was being messy towards her family, so she was being petty and messy towards him. Now, when Boosie caught wind of this clip, he went on Twitter and said this, LOL, the whole world know I love women and the world know your husband loved D. I hope you don't think blacks look at y'all like a power couple. They don't. I had refused to talk about y'all in interviews, and here you go. Go bang him with that dildo and wait on a script, you little white girl. What? How does he know that Dwayne likes D? And why is he calling Gabrielle a little white girl? I mean...
Okay, now, y'all heard that. Like, I ain't gonna lie, that was kind of funny. But, honestly, I agree with Gabrielle Union in a way. Like, you have so much shit to say, like with Lil Boozy and stuff. I'm sorry, but with Lil Boozy and stuff like that, Lil Boozy, if you watching this, you're pretty much giving off DL and I really want to come out kind of vibes. Because how bad you be talking about Lil Nas X and how you be talking about Zaya Wade and stuff, it's giving like, how straight are you, my nigga? Because, like, you have so much shit to say about gay people. Like, is there something you want to tell us? Are you secretly DL? Like, go ahead and come out, my nigga. This is a free world. Who gives a damn? Like, Boozy gives all that vibe, like, I'm DL and I really want to come out. Because I'm just saying, like I said, the way he be talking about Lil Nas X and how he had talked about Zaya Wade back then, like, come on now, sir. Like, do you like dick? Do you like pussy? Like, go ahead and come out and say it. And also, speaking of Lil Nas X, I remember my sister had told me about this. I remember NBA YoungBoy, and I think this is going to be a separate video too. But I remember My sister had said that Lil Nas X and NBA YoungBoy, was it NBA YoungBoy or was it somebody else? Somebody else, I don't know, but I think it was NBA YoungBoy. But anyways, my sister had told me a story about how Lil Nas X and NBA YoungBoy, they had linked up and did a song together. And I remember Lil Boosie had went on Vlad TV and had did an interview and stuff like that. And you know how interviewers are, like, they try to be messy and stuff like that. And basically they was messy, was like, I think they had said something along the lines of, what do you think about the Lil Nas X song featuring NBA YoungBoy? And Lil Boosie petty ass was like, according to my sister, he had said, all I'm gonna say is, I thought NBA YoungBoy was one of us. In other words, I thought NBA YoungBoy was straight. Obviously, I was wrong, pretty much. That's what he was saying in other words. Like, I thought NBA YoungBoy was straight. Obviously, I was wrong. That's what he said. That's what he meant when he had said, I thought NBA YoungBoy was one of us. Like, what you fail to realize, sir, is this. There are straight men out there that have no problem with gay guys being gay, just, you know, as long as they respect them and know that they themselves are straight and they don't play that. They have much respect for gay men like myself, just as long as, you know, we keep just as long as we keep our distance and respect that they're straight. There are straight men out there that are like that, and NBA YoungBoy is one of them. He ain't got no problem with Lil Nas X being gay, just as long as Lil Nas X don't try him. That's all that is. Like, just because a straight man ain't all homophobic and whatnot, don't necessarily mean, like, just because a straight man and stuff like that ain't all homophobic and whatnot, don't necessarily mean nothing. Like, they just have respect and whatnot. Like, they just respect any and everybody and stuff like that, and just pretty much just want you to live your life and stuff, just as long as you don't come on to them in any way. Same things with gay girls. Like, my sister's like that. She ain't got no problem with a girl being gay, just as long as the girl don't come on to her. Like, there are those people out there that just have respect. That's all that is. So, yeah. But honestly, with Gabrielle Union and stuff like that, I ain't gonna lie, sis had made me laugh when she had said the thing on the Jamel Hill show, I think. She had made me laugh when she had said that, but it's just like with Lil Boosie, like, don't come for me unless I send for you, pretty much. Like, you brought it on yourself when you had talked about Zaya, so it was a matter of time before she retaliated. So, yeah. And as far as her quote unquote effing her man with a dildo, like, come on now, really, Boosie? Like, I'm just saying.
Dwayne likes D. And why is he calling Gabrielle a little white girl? I mean, Boosie sounds ridiculous.
I ain't gonna lie, Lil Boosie kind of cute though.
I don't know what he's talking about, but he is super, super messy. And I don't think he should have spoke on Zaya in the first place, personally. I think he should have left that alone. But I will say this. The reason why Boosie was emboldened to even say anything in the first place is because Dwayne Wade publicized his child's transitioning. And this is the problem I have with Dwayne Wade and even Gabrielle, because I do feel like she plays a part in this too. They both, in a way, have used Zaya for publicity. Whether they realize it or not, they both have done it. And it does come across as if they are exploiting Zaya. Now, from my understanding, Zaya was actually relieved when Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle spoke about her transitioning publicly. At least this is what Gabrielle said in her interview with Jamel Hill. However, I think Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle are going overboard. Now, if they wanted to make a statement, they can make that statement and leave it at that. But to go on different interviews, talking about this child and opening up this child to public scrutiny is really the wrong move, and it makes you question their intentions. And it's not to say that they don't love Zaya, but they know the benefit of using Zaya's sexuality as a talking point because it gives them publicity. So in a sense, they are exploiting Zaya. Now, they could have done it a different way. They could have been like Magic Johnson, for example. Magic Johnson has a flamboyant child named E.J. Johnson.
And honestly, this is the part of the video that I never knew. Like, I never knew that Magic Johnson had a flamboyant child. I never knew that. That was new when I first saw this video. That was new information to me. Like, you learn something new every day. I never would have known that.
Magic Johnson hasn't gone on different press tours talking about his child's sexuality, but you see that he supports EJ, and that support is loud enough. He doesn't need to get attention for himself or his career by talking about his son's sexuality. Unfortunately, I can't really say the same thing.
And I totally 100% agree with what she had said and stuff like that. How I just showed y'all how Magic Johnson has a flamboyantly gay child and whatnot, and how I totally agree with her when she had said how Magic Johnson has a flamboyantly gay child and stuff like that, and how he doesn't go overboard or whatnot, publicize his child's sexuality simply because that's his child's business. Like that's his child's business and stuff like that. Like he has no right to speak on his child's sexuality and his child's business and stuff because that's just his child's business, and I respect that. He just lets his child live his life. Same thing with me. My parents don't go overboard and whatnot publicizing my sexuality because it's my business. They don't care. They just love and support me, and that's enough. Like, yeah, like it should be like that with Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union. Like, just let your child live their life and whatnot, and just love and support them. That's good enough. Like, you don't have to go overboard with it. And I totally understand where she's coming from.
Unfortunately, I can't really say the same thing for Dwayne or Gabrielle. Now, switching gears a little bit, I want to get into this whole drama between Dwayne and his ex-wife, Savon Funches, because right now, Dwayne is mad because Savon has objections to allowing their child, Zaya, to change her gender and her name before the age of 18 years old. Now, Savon does have objections to this because she is wary of Dwayne and his wife, Gabrielle Union's intentions. She feels like they're pushing for this to continue to exploit Zaya. Not only that, she wants to protect Zaya because Zaya is still a minor. And since Zaya is a minor, Savon still has some say-so in matters that involve her child. But Dwayne Wade is furious about this, and he has put Savon on blast on social media. And this is something that should have been a private matter, but he decided to take it to the public. And I think he did this as a way to kind of villainize Savon. If you don't know, Dwayne and Savon have had a very rocky relationship over the years. And it wasn't always rocky. I mean, Dwayne and Savon knew each other since they were children. They were actually childhood friends. And Savon's family even took Dwayne in at one point because he had a rough time at home. So they were very close at one point, and they did eventually get married in 2002. But soon after they got married, things started to change. Savon said things took a turn for the worse. Their marriage was allegedly plagued with abuse and infidelity. And she also said Dwayne changed completely.
And I want to say this too. It's a good thing she had brought up Savon, and I just want to say this. Savon, to me, gives off the vibe of, I don't care that my child's trans, but the fact that you're going overboard with it and stuff like that to, legally change her name and change her gender from male to female, well, that's where I draw the line at, because despite what me and you had going on, I'm still this child's mother, and I have a say-so in this. That's the vibe that she's giving off to me. Like, Zaya, come on now, this young lady is not even 18 yet. Not even 21 yet. And the fact that you're going to go this route, you're going this far as to legally change her name and change her gender from male to female is kind of going too far. Because just like I had said in the beginning of this video, she came out as trans when she was 12. Now here she is like, 15, 16 years old. She's still a kid. Like, as you get older, your mind changes and whatnot. So what if she were to get older, like 21 and older, and something changes? What if she wants to change her name from Zaya to something else? Or, God forbid, I hope she doesn't change her mind about this. Who's to say, like, she wants to detransition and you already changed her sex from male to female, it's going to mess her up. So, you should just, this is just what some parents fail to realize. Let children be children. Let children be children. And when they get older, like 21 and older, to make decisions for themselves, let them make it for themselves. Because they're grown enough to decide for themselves. Don't make decisions for them while they're young, because while they're young, when they're kids and stuff like that, you make decisions for them. As they get older, you don't know how those decisions are going to affect them in the long run. So, yeah, I totally understand where Savon's coming from. Like I said, despite what me and you had going on, Zaya is still my child, and I have a say. I still have a dog in this fight. So, yeah.
And infidelity. And she also said Dwayne changed completely once he got into the NBA.
When I noticed it was happening, that he was changing and changing for the worse. There's nothing wrong with change, but changing for the worse is bad. And I saw him in exchange for money and fame selling his soul. I saw him taking, his character and exchanging it for yet another endorsement or yet another fan, and that was the problem.
Eventually, Dwayne and Savon's marriage began to crumble, especially with all of the alleged infidelity that was going on. Now, a lot of people speculate that Dwayne's now wife, Gabrielle Union, was one of the women that he was cheating on Savon with. While they were married, Gabrielle was eyeing Dwayne Wade, and this was actually back in 2005. According to this magazine article, Star Telegram, when Wade's wife showed up last month at an all-star game event in Denver without her significant other, actress Gabrielle Union told her, "You tell your husband that I'm a big fan of his." Interestingly enough, Gabrielle would go on to date Dwayne Wade while he was still legally married to Savon. And Dwayne and Savon were separated at the time. I just want to make a note of that. But it is interesting that they got separated the same year Dwayne met Gabrielle. That's quite a coincidence there. But eventually Dwayne and Savon got divorced in 2010. And their divorce was pretty messy, and it led to them getting into this very nasty child custody battle. They both were fighting over the custody of their two children, Zaya and Zaya, but Dwayne eventually won primary custody because he had the money, influence, and resources to win, basically. But it was definitely a fight. Savon fought to get her children, but she lost, and I think she felt alienated from her children because of the whole situation. Gabrielle Union pretty much stepped in to be that motherly figure. So that's kind of a brief backstory of the issues between Dwayne and Savon. It really goes deep, and I think this whole situation with Zaya now is adding more salt to the wound. And Savon is at a point where she just wants to have say. This is her child. She wants to protect her child, and she feels like Dwayne is exploiting her child. And I feel the same way too, to be honest. I feel like Dwayne is exploiting Zaya to some extent. And that's not to say that he doesn't love his child, because I do believe he really loves his child.
Same here.
But at the same time, I couldn't help but notice that a lot of his interviews, especially in the past couple of years, has been about Zaya's transitioning. He has literally done press tours about Zaya. And Gabrielle has done the same thing. Anytime there's something for them to promote, Zaya's name always comes up. So I can't say Savon is crazy for believing that her child is being exploited for financial gain, because it kind of feels that way, at least in my opinion. And Dwayne and Gabrielle understand that there is a benefit to advocating for Zaya's transitioning. They understand that it helps their publicity. They understand that it gives them support from the LGBTQ plus community.
Right.
It also helps their status in Hollywood. Let's be real. Like, it's helping Dwayne's celebrity profile, and it's extending his relevancy post his basketball career. And the fact that he's being viewed as an advocate and a social activist does give him rewards. So
Right.
It is helping his status, and also it's helping Gabrielle Union's career. For the longest time, Gabrielle could not get out of that black Hollywood box, but now she's becoming more mainstream. So it's all a strategy, and the more Savon sees them pushing Zaya, the more she believes that, okay, they're doing it for their own self-gain. So that's the biggest issue that she has with it. She has issues with them exploiting her child. And it's unfortunate that she doesn't have enough influence on her child, because she's not there all the time. She's been kind of alienated from her children in a sense. And it's not like she's a deadbeat. She does try to connect with them. She is close to her oldest child, Zaire. And I see Zaire commenting on her Instagram post, but I don't get the feeling that she has the same bond with Zaya. And I do believe a lot of it has to do with some of the influences that are kind of putting a wedge between them. And I don't get the feeling that Dwayne and Gabrielle made it easy for them to have a relationship. Especially Dwayne. Dwayne has villainized the mother to the point that Zaya probably believes that she is the enemy. So I don't know. I think that their relationship is strained because of those influences. But I do hope that Zaya and Savon build a bond in the future and come to a level of some understanding and acceptance between each other. But anyway, tell what you all think about this video down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
And that's just about that on that. So all in all, in closing, I just want to say, it's just like what Impressive has said. I personally 100% believe that they love Zaya with all their heart. They love their child with all their heart, but at the same time, the exploitation of the fact is kind of getting out of hand. Because come on now, you have a trans child, like, bitch, doors just open up left and right for you. Like, you have a trans child, like, doors just open up left and right for you. Like, pretty much your status elevates. And in a way, it's just like what she had said, like, doors not only are opening up for Zaya, but for them too. Like, it's just gonna elevate them higher in life and stuff like that. Just like what she had said, like, it's a strategy. Same thing if you have a gay child, like, it's a strategy. It's all about coming up at the end of the day. Like with them, it's like it's all about making money at the end of the day. And yeah, they do love their child with all their heart, but it's just like with the exploitation of the fact, it's just getting out of hand and stuff. And that's what a lot of people, a lot of, I want to say level-headed people like myself, like we support the fact that you have a trans child and whatnot, but the exploitation of the fact is just getting out of hand and stuff. And that's where the mother, the biological mother, comes in. Like, just like I said, I understand that I have a trans child and I accept that, but the exploitation is just getting out of hand. Like, come on now, let my child live their life. And when they get old enough to make decisions for themselves, like, they can just do it because they're grown. But while they're a child, just let them enjoy being a child, So, yeah, that's just about that on that. And like I had said, like, they do love their child with all their heart, but it's just the exploitation's just getting out of hand. And that's where Savon comes in, pretty much, just want to love her child for them and not just the money part of it, which, like I said, Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union do love their child, but the exploitation's just getting out of hand, and it just has to stop. So, yeah, now let's shift gears and talk about the whole TJ Holmes situation. Now, all I'm going to say about that is, my nigga, if you're watching this, that's the price you pay for not keeping your dick in your pants. And that's what happens when you mix business with pleasure. Like, here it is, you knew you were married, same thing with a lady, you knew you were married, but yet you decided to mess with each other behind closed doors to the point where it cost you your job. And now, just like what Impressive said in this video, even though I didn't play it, here it is, dude, you're getting replaced. And as far as the other lady, I don't know if she's going to get replaced. So, yeah, like, that's what happens when you mix business with pleasure. So, yeah, that just about concludes that for this video. Like always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to insert my social media handles over here as well in the description below. So feel free to add and follow me on those. Also, don't forget to turn on post notifications, because if you don't, what's the point? Anyways, peace out. I hope I made sense in this video, because, like, I felt like I was all over the place. So, yeah. Peace out.